Hi everyone, my name is Lindsey Bordner. I'm a violinist, a violin and viola teacher, and an advisor to the Paul A. Schmitt Violin Shop. Welcome to Bow Tips for Beginners. I'm going to use a couple of terms in this video that you may or may not be familiar with. First is the bow hair, which is the white part here. It comes from a horse's tail. So the bow hair is very important to not touch with our hands. As our skin oils can get on the bow hair and then make it not have the right sound on our instrument. Okay, then there's the stick, which is the part that's not the hair, and that's made of wood or carbon fiber sometimes, or fiberglass, something like that. Then there is the frog, that's just the word for this end of the bow, and then the tip, which is the opposite end. Okay, so one of the first frequently asked questions I get when a student has a new bow is why it won't make any sound. If you are drawing your bow across the string and it just sounds like shh, that means the bow hair has no rosin on it. So with your instrument, you should have gotten some rosin. It can come in many different shapes of boxes and things, but it will probably look something like this. If your rosin is brand new, see how this is shiny? That means it's brand new and we don't want it to be shiny. We actually need to scratch it up. So I have a screw here. You can use keys. You can use sandpaper, anything that's a little bit abrasive. Take to that rosin and just scratch it. It'll become not shiny anymore, which is what we want. Okay, maybe I'll finish with a little sandpaper too. Now you can see how, even though it's still shiny, we've gotten it kind of scratched up enough that if we rub the bow hair on it, it'll actually do something. Okay, so first, if your bow makes no sound, get lots of rosin on it. So that's just really, rub, rub, rub. Okay. The next thing is we have to tighten and loosen the bow hair. And so that's what this end is for. This is a screw. And if you turn that to the right, it'll tighten the hair. If you turn it to the left, it'll loosen the hair. So righty-tighty, lefty-loosey is a good way to remember that. And anytime we put the bow away, we want the bow hair to be loosened all the way. So anytime you're not going to play, you're putting it away in the case, loosen the bow, and when it's loose, you should see that the stick and the hair are very close together like this, and you'll probably see that the hairs look a little bit loose too. When you tighten it, I'll turn it to the right, you'll see the hair and the stick begin to separate more. And how do you know how tight to tighten it to play? So here's my answer to that question. Take a pencil, just a standard size pencil, and while the bow hair is loose, insert it between the hair and the stick at about the tightest point. Then I'm going to tighten the screw only until the pencil falls out. There. So that's how tight we want the bow to be. If your bow is more than a pencil width at the narrowest point in the middle, it's too tight. Okay? Never over tighten your bow because that'll eventually do some damage to the bow. Okay? So always remember to loosen it back up before you put it away. And there's your bow basics.